Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is yet another office hours here. We are now day 25 into our 180-day live stream sprint and challenge. And I'm going to share in our Zoom and also on the live stream a direct link to today's agenda tab, but you're not going to find a lot of details there because it is a templated thing. And the office hours is really geared to be where people can come in. And whether you're here on the Zoom or listening on or watching on the live stream, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the comments there. So here, and this Google Docs is very tab, and you can see the all the tabs going on. Here is the link to today's Google Docs subtab. And there's that link. Oh, let me get this all on the clipboard for my, oh, whoa, minimized all my windows. Back windows. Okay, getting my clipboard here for you all on Zoom. And here's the link for my Zoom friends. Clicking enter for my live stream friends. So yes, this is our Google Docs. Always enjoy talking about our FELG culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And today we're going to be bouncing back and forth between two tabs. So we're in progress 2025 week 5, which is our 4th week. And again, IRA number 16, office hours here on January 30th. And we're going to be bouncing between that tab and the Teams brand over here. But one of the things that I brought up before we went live was working on our MVP for our founding members, targeting having everything in place for phase 0, and this is our alpha phase, and we'll show you what our 3 launch phases are here momentarily for Super Bowl Sunday. And I can't remember if that's February 9th, February 9th-ish, maybe.
Mhm.
2020, is that correct? February 9th?
Yep.
All right. So this is where we want to start onboarding founding members, begin onboarding founding members. And then let's actually work on the dform.cc. And one of the things that I love about dform is that they have a fabulous UX UI. We can also have a lot of control because one of the things that we're wanting to do here is that we're really wanting to onboard Web3 natives, so we can require a Web3 wallet as a part of the workflow. But then second of all, this is really geared for United States. Like, people globally won't really have any benefit from the product that we're creating here. That doesn't mean that we want to exclude, like, one of the core things that we're building within our ecosystem are on-chain ambassadors. But here, we're in an office hours, really wanting this to be, where people can ask questions. And on that note, I'm going to stop talking. And before we start rolling up our sleeves here, I want to give everybody that's on Zoom or on the live stream an opportunity to ask a question, share what you would like to talk about, or whatever. And I'm going to go on mute and let you all chime in some thoughts here. I don't hear anybody saying anything. I don't see any mics opening, and I don't see anything on the Zoom or the live stream. So let's actually just delete that extra carrier return that I made here and work on the deform. So before we do that, let's actually take a look at, just really quickly review, and this is bouncing to the Teams brand myIRA.Fund tab. This is where we're really organizing at a fairly high level. And this is one of the things here wanted to show was our launch phases. So we're wanting to get things in place where we can begin onboarding the first 100 founding members. And as mentioned, Web3 natives and people in the United States that can benefit from an individual retirement arrangement. So, and this is one of the things here, alpha phase. Here's what we're talking about doing today. So let me actually make a note of this. Doing this during office hours number 16. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to go, one of the ways that I organize all the things is with browser profiles. So I'm going to go to the myIRA.Fund browser profile. And one of the things here, let's go to dform.cc, which now redirects to Megaphone. So let's see if I'm still logged in here with my IRAfund.eth, which we are, create dform. So we're just going to sign in with Google. I'm not going to unpack that, but that was something right here is the Google account using. Continue. So this is basically going to be, our live stream fully open to Gmail. So if you want a response, don't send anything to our Gmail because it's not going to get one. So what is the name of our organization? My IRA Fund. And I'm just going to copy it right here like this. How did you, oh, don't want that. That didn't get my clipboard. So how did you hear about us? I'm just going to put responded to another dform, get started now. So my IRA funds workspace. So which one makes the most sense? Allow list or sign up, feedback form, application form, event. I'm thinking maybe application form. Do we want it to be, or what do you all think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where you start.
And real quick, I believe with this free tier here, let's actually just click this. So with our free tier here, we get 3 forms, and this is something that we may want to consider. Right now, we're going to be capitalizing my IRA fund, and I think that there's enough need to have, like, my IRA fund is functionally intellectual property that we're creating brand. We've established registered multiple domains. So now, one of the things, like just thinking out loud here, we're also building other brands within our ecosystem. So this may go ahead.
No, sorry, I was just calling.
Oh, okay, cool. So we can do 3 forms if we find out this one, and we want to change. So we get 3 free forms. We only get 50 responses, but you can see here it won't be that much to upgrade to this. And this is still a question, like the opportunity for us to move this workflow into our own without using dform. But right now we want to minimize reinventing the wheel and just lean into beautiful done for you solutions like dform. And we'll see what that looks like, but I've used dform. It's a pretty fabulous user experience as far as what it looks like on either desktop or mobile. And I'm probably anticipating most people are mobile, but application form. So let's see, standard, launch a classic form, perfect for any occasion. Viral, create a form that awards points to users who share the referral codes with others. Well, I don't know. I'm personally thinking viral because we're creating this invitation dynamic. So what do you all think?
Oh yeah. Viral.
Let's do it. LFG.
Uh,
Okay. How should users identify themselves? Well, this is easy. We're wanting this to be Web3 native, so we're going to require it to be wallet. Next.
Hey, Jason, are we taking ENSs or only the actual
I'm pretty
wallet?
sure that workflow is right here, and we'll do Wallet Connect. And let me see what the options are. Yeah, Wallet Connect. And I'm pretty sure that they allow that on here, ENS. And this is the let's see. Oh, what did I do? Was this heading? Can't remember. Let me see if there's a Control Z. Well, let's call this let me see if I still have that My IRA Fund. This is the title of it. my IRA fund. Let's call it founding member application. Founding member application. What's your name? Is this is required. We're gonna make this right now optional. Optional. So the only thing that we're requiring right now is wallet, X username, how many years of, let's say, Web3/DeFi experience do you have? And these are good ranges, I think. 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 plus. Let me actually just take this one off and just make it 3 to 5 plus. Because if you're 3 to 5 plus in DeFi, you are some OG. And that's actually a required field too, indicated by the asterisk. So we can add the cover image later. What else do we need? I think that this is good enough for right now, don't you all?
That's cool.
You got any thoughts, Ernest, on anything else?
No, looks good. Keep it simple.
Okay, open form. Join the wait list. Where does this come in? Cover page. Access gates. Wallet collection. I guess this is the workflow here. So this might be redundant if we have this page. Maybe we can just delete this page. Let's see. I'm not sure here. Going back to the start, application form. So it's looking like it's collecting the wallet here, which is why that this was on the email address. Let me go back to email address, and we'll put in email address. What is your email address? We'll make this optional. See how to change it required. Okay. And I'm going to just delete website link off here because that's really irrelevant, honestly. Delete. And we can add a description. Let me actually just throw that in here since I've got it on copy and paste. There's that. Okay, let me open up the form. So I'm actually just going to go through and do this here with my profile. Open up the new window. So I need to change this, join the wait list. Let me go back there real quick. Let's say this is page 2. We'll say this other one is, oh, I don't want that. Page 1. And I'm not sure if this is the right, I feel like it's doing something weird with the formatting on this form. So I'm gonna try throw this on a clipboard real quick. Page 1. And let me copy this over to this here. Got page 2. So let's go back here real quick, refresh this. My IRA fund founding member application. What is your wallet address? Sign to verify. Confirm. Wallet is verified. Next. Optional. The only required field that it looks like that we have is what is your years of Web3 DeFi experience. So I'm on this last one. Submit. Hey, look, I'm the first person that filled this out. I get more points. So here's my referral link so you all can go through this as well. Now, I would want, as I was mentioning, want to add more complexity to this because like one of the things that we were talking about was didn't have the mechanism of verifying that somebody's in the United States. But we created our initial form. Let me see if there's, so let's actually work on some settings here. Let's see. And this is where we can add some additional functionality. Like right now, I think it's just creating an email, like one of the better things that would exist. And this is also where we can have a subdomain. And this is where we can use a, and I don't know if this, let me see what, if this costs the custom domain. Because I would prefer it to be on like dform.myIRA.fund. But let's just go through this process. Select domain, add custom domain, dform.myIRA.fund. Because that'd be fabulous if it doesn't cost or if it's low cost. So this is where we need to add the custom domain details. So I'm going to throw this on a clipboard and add that here in a moment. So that's actually something I'm going to just put in the Google Doc for an action item for today. Work on dform, and here's a action item. We're currently using primarily pork bun DNS with this custom domain. There's those details. Take off the indent. Let's highlight this, or let's just add a comment here too. Action item. All right, well, we'll get that workflow updated here, but we'll see what that looks like. I'll work on that in between to take this offline. I don't know if we need to do anything more on the dform. I'm feeling really good about where we're at right now. How are you all?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what this looks like. I'm going to throw it in my mobile here real quick. And this is also where we can add some custom branding. And like I said, that's something that I'll work on cleaning up because that's kind of the thoughts here. One of the things that I also want to incorporate in a workflow, and this is something that Tyler and I can take offline as far as getting a time slot on either her calendar or my calendar for so that we can really work on getting like a functionally like maybe a pitch deck for onboarding our founding members, because really wanting to set some expectations of what that looks like. Because I think that we're really filling a need with the solution that we're going to be building for my IRA fund. I know that it's a need that Tyler and I have, and that's one of the things that we're going to be creating some more documentation on. So anyway, we still have a good amount of time left here during our office hours. So what's some of the other things we can look on or work on? And I'm going to go back to the team tab here. So
Hey, Jason, do you want to work on the business plan at all, or is that not for this call?
no, that's
The
great.
pitch deck.
Yeah, let me actually just go here because like I said, this Gmail account, this is where the let me just go to Google Drive with the Gmail account here. And I've got some folders. So founding documents, let's create a business plan, new Google Docs. And we're going to do draft business plan for myIRA.fund.
Are you gonna add LinkedIn to that? Form?
When you say LinkedIn, potentially, like keep in mind here, Mike, we're primarily targeting Web3 natives. And one of the reasons for that is the only functionality that we're planning to build in largely during our alpha and beta phase is to use Safe. This is the primary mechanism, is this multi-sig wallet. This is something that we as Web3 ecosystem builders have been using for years. And I'll go right here. Like we, the other day, created the multi-sig for this project on Base. And right now, what this looks like on the settings is we have four signers, myself, Tyler, I am Lotus, and Ernest. And in order to do a transaction, it requires three of the four of us to authorize the transaction. And this is something that we can definitely change as we will go through a process. Like if somebody's like, hey, I would really like to be a multi-sig signer, like I would have no problem adding a fifth multi-sig signer, like Jason Webb, who's not on a lot of our activities. But Jason Webb is one of the board of stewards that signed the founding bylaws. Like we're going to create a proposal here on Snapshot for myIRA.fund. And I'll just go through this, what this looks like. Snapshot.org is our governance portal. Well, they just moved to .box. And here, let me see. I'm going to log in. I log in with my MetaMask since I'm still on Yonk. So I was a little too fast for it. So in our ecosystem, 3Win Social, AiAgents.Box, myIRA.fund is a project here. So we're going to create a proposal tomorrow during myIRA.fund. And this is another action item that I'm going to take, is to draft a proposal to nominate Ernest and I am Lotus as board of stewards for myIRA.fund. And then like one of the things that we will likely do, since Jason Webb is also on the board of stewards, like one of the initial responsibilities of the board of stewards will be to be a multi-sig signer on our Safe. So, and where I'm going with this, like the way that we're going to structure our best practices for myIRA.fund is we're going to have four signers. And imagine like the Yonks team IRA, like Tyler and myself, we can have two hardware wallets like a Ledger or Trezor or Tangem wallet. And those will likely be three hardware solutions that we recommend for the best practices. And in order to move money in or out of this myIRA for Yonk's team, we're going to require 2 of 4 signers, because we, as individuals, we want to have autonomy to control our retirement account how that we want. But the way that we as a custodian that's providing the solution to Yonk's team for their IRA agency, we're going to have a support person at myIRA.fund that's going to be one of these 4 signers. And then like a fourth of 4 signer that we're going to have is going to be like a probate or an estate attorney, so that like, Yonk's team is traveling here. If we like, die in an airplane crash, that's making international news right now. And, prayers out to the families that are impacted by that. That's absolutely awful. But, that's reality. Whenever God has our number, we don't have a choice of when that is. And, this is where we're working on creating workflow to have that as a mechanism, like an estate or probate planning attorney that can, help navigate this process. But that's us being good stewards using on-chain technology, and the value proposition that this creates for us, Yonk's team IRA agency, is that we get access to DeFi. I can't remember if I had talked about it this week, but prior to this week, and we've enjoyed. I mean, this is real zero world problems. We moved a good amount of money in August of 2022 in crypto winter from our Schwab account over to Alto IRA using their Alto crypto IRA solution. They support over 29,000 investors per their website, but this has a Coinbase.com backend. And last week we were $5,700 in transactions. We did another trade this week. That was another $1,300 in transaction fees. So now we're over 7 grand in transaction fees just since August of 2022. And with our solution that we're building, these transactions are going to be like not 1%, but it's going to be just for executing the transaction, especially through a platform like Aerodrome Finance. There may be some other slight transaction fees, but nowhere near 1% that we're currently getting charged. But then also, there's going to be additional opportunities to access like liquidity pools or staking or other opportunity for us to get yield instead of those assets just being custodied by Coinbase. We can earn yield on assets through various DeFi mechanisms that exist within already built dApps, these decentralized applications. And there's a whole list. I mean, you can see here, like Aave, Arcadia Finance, Balancer, and this is all stuff that I'm sure Ernest has far more experience than we do. We've played around a little bit with liquidity pools, but most of our capital is not accessible to some of these more DeFi centralized or decentralized strategies. So that's the minimum viable product that we're looking to create, is establishing the workflows. And one of the solutions providers that we're having conversations with and planning to engage with is Synapse. Synapse, we are going to require a KYC element here in these first two phases. Was somebody going to say something?
I got a quick demo to see if I understand what a MVP might look like, if I could.
Yeah, you want me to stop share for you, Ernest?
Yeah.
All right, over to you, friend.
So check this out. So over the last 24 hours, man, that's always at the top of my screen. There we go. And minimize that. So over the last 24 hours, I created an agent manager. That's right here. My profile for the platform that I created this on. To the right, you can see it's connected to my Google. I have links, which is a manager agent connected to Telegram in Telegram now. Keep in mind, I haven't built out the knowledge bases yet. The bot, the agent keeps track of contacts and conversations. So just while I'm testing out the different asking it questions to see if I understand how it's working, it's tracking just me as a contact and all those conversations. Now, just like Winnie, whose pipeline is built using Vector Shift AI, this application allows me to generate pipelines just like Winnie and flows. Also has the ability to do marketing pipelines, right? Scheduling appointments, questionnaires, all the basic, any onboarding pipeline, they basically have templates for when it comes to your initial marketing. Again, you can integrate your Google Drive, Docs, Calendar, Gmail. You see, I created the router agent, which is the manager agent, and then I created uh, basically what would be Winnie, Penelope, and Koa, 3 different agents. Basically, the 3 different agents, there's also, I created 3 different assistants. So the difference between an agent and an assistant is that an agent is going to have the skills and understanding of where to go outside your network to find information and bring it to your user that it's interacting with, and also do pipelines, whereas your assistant is your assistant that has the knowledge base about your specific organization. Okay, and all of these you can hook up to a LLM. Your assistants are more your typical chatbot, but you include an LLM in a chatbot, and now you have your chatbot that can kind of reason instead of just fetching you answers based on keywords that it identifies, which again, keyword logic is easily done in all of these. And so just like in Vector Shift AI the other day, you have editing, you have this flow chart tool studio. You create your objects, you connect your objects, and it's a flow or lots of flows or several flows connected. Could be your pipeline, because you could have a welcome message. You could have a fetch, you could have an email that comes in that's a message that kicks off a pipeline, a workflow of then drafting your reach out and onboarding email. But just to say that just like Vector Shift, you get a really simplified now studio for building out your objects in your workflows and connecting them to LLMs, integrate with any plugin, Discord, Telegram, Gmail, SQL, Apache databases, servers, right? It's all the same input, output, direction.
Right.
And then you can see for that was just this is just a simple welcome message. And you can see in Telegram, which you probably can't see, but if you say hello to Links in Telegram, it'll respond with, "Hello, I'm Links. I'm here to help you find a win-win-win solution for your business today." And then that's the welcoming message that's customized. And that's with a LLM generated welcome message based on instructions. So the welcome message could be different, though I've told Links to keep it always to 1 sentence, which kind of limits the variability that it'll have. But after your welcome message in your onboarding workflow, which could be after a deform, it could be the chatbot before the deform, right? Then you customize the response after the welcome message. And so this is Links, which is a routing condition connected to OpenAI, because this platform gives you OpenAI API for free. You can add any other LLM that you want. All you got to do is have the API key for that platform. So all you got to do is subscribe to that AI, get their API key, and you can put it in. I do also subscribe to OpenRouter, but I'm just going to stick with OpenAI until I get these workflows down pat, and then I can put in OpenRouter and then have any LLM I want. But you see, this is essentially Links, the manager. The manager's job is to route the condition of the conversation. And so the conversation is either going to want to know about NFTs and how to create IP around NFTs and digital assets that an organization owns. You're going to have Winnie, which will be the super onboarding secretary to 3Win Social ecosystem, starting with the 3 projects that it knows most about. And then you have Koa, which is your safe onboarder to the Web3 space that can help you design and develop marketing strategies and plans and risk metrics to create risk profiles for your investments. And finally, right, again, a lot of these automations are in here. Once I get the basic conversation going, that will manage onboarding, then it's just a matter of building the knowledge base and making sure it has the right links, the right information. And in my Google Docs is all the content that I ever create. Now I store it in Google Doc structure. I actually have, a whole Google Drive that it's basically I only use it to give access to other agents. So this is pretty sweet considering I've done all that in about 8 hours.
So your
And
your Google Drive is holding what? Is that your knowledge base that you're feeding into that?
so right, Yonk starts out in Google Drive. He starts out with everything creating Google Docs, and then he adds links in his Google Docs, and these are really just web pages.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
right, and we get transcripts from YouTube, we get Fathom notes, and then we get notes that anybody takes in the meetings, and we get all the comments that are dropped in Zoom. Okay, this is all data that tells a story about what we do every day.
Right. Copy.
Right, and I pull that, I scrape it manually right now,
Right.
scrape it every day, put it into a Google Doc, reformat that information, create a detailed summary of day's activity. Basically, I respit out the Fathom notes. I recreate the Fathom notes since nobody's emailing me the Fathom notes. I scrape YouTube in our Zoom chat.
Sorry, I know. That's my
I
bad,
scrape that.
Ernest.
And then I asked Winnie to recreate the notes for the meeting for me, and I've told her the format to use, which is the same format that Fathom uses. So now all I got to do is dump this information into Winnie, my GPT Winnie, my custom GPT Winnie. They reformat it, spit it back.
Okay.
That's awesome stuff, Ernest. Love all the experimentation that you're doing, and yes, keep up the amazing work there, friend.
Yeah,
And,
when we get to, we've talked about getting together sometime, but I have an idea that would probably help me understand that whole process that you just mentioned a lot better with some stuff that I have in my head. Well, not head, but I have actual assets that for the magic thing. And maybe we can look at that. Because once I see it all in motion, it'll come together pretty fast.
yeah, and that's one of the things, like right now, that we're working on creating a user journey is the best way to describe it, because that's one of the things that we've going back and right here just to show everyone was getting the CNAME in place. So this is already live here using using the custom domain and the founding member. So now we have a almost fully branded. I didn't get the second page done, but you can see here, very clean, and I'm pretty sure that this will look beautiful on a mobile device. I mean, you can kind of get the idea of what that may look like on a mobile device to create
I
like a
went through
great.
it. It looks
What's
good.
that?
I went through it already and connected my wallet, signed up. I'm in
Nice.
the queue. So it looks good.
Fabulous. Yeah, and I'll get that second page created with the same branding here. But anyway, getting back to the Google Docs. And one of the things too here, let's see, there it is right there. So let me check this off. And I'm going to actually add this as complete because that's already done. So great demo from Ernest showing workflows using ChatGPT. That's what you were using, right? What tool was that called again,
No,
Ernest?
and that's not what I was showing you. I was showing you an MVP that I have that's damn near testable with most of the conditions that you've requested, except for the knowledge base. I've demonstrated the knowledge base ability through my custom GPTs, but now I'm taking my custom GPTs, my custom me funds, and recreating them in this one application that's allowing me to build agents and managers, basically allowing me to build a swarm that's completely integrated to my personal and my business Google information, so that it
Cool.
can do, it'll soon have access to my Gmail and be able to accept emails on the website, basically in a chat bot. It'll be able to accept your email and then send you an email. Oh, you want to know more about uh, how to create an NFT? Boom, here, fill out this form. I'll send you an email and we'll start up this conversation at it. What time is good for you to have this, continue this conversation tomorrow? Then you give it a time. And then so now it has a time to contact you back. It has your email address, and it can recreate and schedule that email, schedule that Google Calendar event in Google Meet. And Google Calendar now has task integrations. So now that whole workflow is managed through your Google Docs using Task Manager, Google Meet, Google Docs. And you have your agents, we'll see how easy it is to actually connect it to my Google Docs. That's always the tricky part. It's been real easy to give an agent a file. So with my Chat GPT agents, I upload a new file every time I want to update the meetings. With my vector shift agents, I got it working Winnie with files. The next step with that Winnie is, of course, to connect it to my Google Drive. I got to put an interpreter in between my LLM and my Google Drive. And so that interpreter is kind of like a little mini agent who just knows how to completely navigate Google Docs. That's all it knows how to do. But the LLM has to tell that agent to go in Google Docs, catch up on the last week of meetings, and then it can spit back to you, summaries about your meetings, key topics, events. It can generate the interview script from guests that you had on your show. So the yeah.
So
And
it
so,
aggregates, so basically it aggregates all this data and then creates a workflow based upon that.
well, so the goal, right,
Right.
is to have an MVP that can demonstrate reasoning, and in particular, reasoning within the topics
Mm-hmm.
pertinent to the projects ultimately in the 3-win system, right? But for myIRA.fund. So can you create an agent that can access links and deliver them back? Yep. Store them links in memory. Easy.
Right.
Done it on myIRA.fund, done it with ChatGPT, done it with Vector Shift AI. All three of those platforms are different and have their own quirks. Well, so now I'm trying this app that's letting me recreate the whole thing. Instead of using ChatGPT, I can use whatever LLM I want. This also, the thing about ChatGPT is that it gives me an application to interact with my agents with. And also, it connects me to a network of agents all across the open AI world. I can add in,
Mm-hmm.
I use the whimsical, there's a whimsical agent that just helps you create flowchart diagrams.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let me know the basic onboarding process that's common across all organizations, and let's call it a user's journey. Draft that flowchart for me, and then it spits it right out in my chat GPT.
And the goal with this, Mike, is to wrap this in a Docker container that we can deploy for individuals, whether it's a myIRA.Fund brand or a We Own Legal Docker container for legal professionals. Like that's going to be another strategic aspect of our go-to-market strategy, is that we're going to be strategically reaching out to attorneys specializing in estate or probate planning, and then especially like younger attorneys that are more exploring AI, the opportunity to deploy this myIRA Docker container for our members of myIRA.Fund, or this Docker container for our legal professionals that want to assist this group of people with their will and probate and estate planning. And that's kind of like a synergistic go-to-market strategy that we have a very tight niche. Existing Web3 natives with myIRA.Fund that have like crypto bro money or number go up money. Like we are new crypto millionaires in 2025, and there's other new crypto millionaires in this cycle, and like we're creating a fairly low barrier of entry for myIRA.Fund and only providing this founding member opportunity to the first 100 founding members. So we're wanting to Docker containerize what the minimum viable product that Ernest is showcasing, and then continue to build upon that, and then also create like a mechanism where other people want to tinker and build trading strategies that they can at scale through tap into the network effect that we're going to be creating for myIRA.Fund. Because once somebody gets a proven trading strategy, that's valuable intellectual property, and the opportunity to use something like Story Protocol, Story Foundation, to really monetize that, where the tinkerer that builds this trading strategy agent can then amplify that through our network effect. And then this just amplifies through agentic AI frameworks and designs, because these agents are all going to be participating in larger ecosystems, like whether it's Eliza OS or Crew AI or Virtuals Protocol with Game or Goat SDK that Crossmint is working on. There's a lot of agentic AI frameworks, and the more that we explore those and then add those to the ecosystem, that just amplifies our ability to containerize this to make it easy for people. Because again, people don't care about the technology, they just care about the results. And looking at the time, 5 o'clock. So
the simple goal is, can I create a chat bot that it can explain things to folks easier than Yonks can explain it to him? If so, then he needs to do less half-hour onboarding calls.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's simple. That's the simple way I can conceive it in my mind.
And I love you for framing it that way, because that makes me feel so good that you're trying to save some time. Because as I've communicated here, until that agent gets created, it's going to be either me or Tyler, probably me, because Tyler does a lot of the heavy lifting for Brooke. I have said and will continue to say she is my superpower that makes all this possible.
Cool, man.
Here, here.
Any final closing thoughts? We will be back again here in about 4 hours for AI Agents Office Hours. I haven't yet created that event. That's what I'm going to immediately do after concluding. Not going out tonight. I thought about touching some grass, but I'm going to be touching grass all next week. So I'm going to keep the pace going here. We've got same time today and tomorrow, 4 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, and then 11 Eastern, 9 Mountain for today and tomorrow as well. And then we're going to finish up our book on our book club on Saturday. And for those, I'll create an event here, because we're going to be starting a new book in February on, I think it's February 8th. We're going to be back and believe firing up the book on February the 8th. Mountain is You. I don't know if anybody else self-identifies mountain, think of this obstacle, and you like sometimes we can absolutely
Oh,
identify with some of
we got to talk about if you're interested in co-branding the book club with the Bankless DAO.
Well, no, like here's the opportunity, Ernest, to move that to, and yeah, could open to other scenarios, but this is a use case, push protocol, push.org. We're really wanting to bring that functionality onto our own mobile app, and this is something that we can potentially get some grant money for from push.org because they're really wanting to position themselves, and they're even expanding their ambitions and now their own chain, and that's another opportunity for us. And now that I'm thinking of it, I'll add that to our agenda for tonight for AiAgents.Box to potentially set up some community presence on using the push protocol, push.org. But that's one of the things that you'll have to come back for here in about 4 hours. But on that note, I'm going to stop talking and let anybody chime in some final adieu before we're back for another live stream here in a few hours.
Are you in the Telegram, Mike?
Say that again?
Are you in Telegram or on Telegram?
No, but I'll get it. Is that on mobile? On your mobile?
Yeah, I'll link you up, Mike, on the mobile app. It's probably the easiest to onboard on mobile and then download it on your desktop. Quite honestly, similar to Coinbase Wallet,
Right.
little different workflow, but yeah, it's
just identifies you by your phone number. But that's
yeah.
that's where most of our communication takes place.
So Ernest, how I don't have your phone number.
You don't have a phone number?
No,
you don't have a phone.
I don't
Okay,
have to.
well then you would just connect via desktop, and it'll just use your desktop.
No, I have a phone number. I'm talking about how do I find you on Telegram?
Oh,
I'll link you up to after you get onboarded with Telegram. I'll link you up to our Telegram group. There,
all right,
Mike.
sounds good. All right, guys, you guys are funny.
yeah, I'll send you the link in Zoom chat.
All right, cool.
To make it real easy.
All right.
Go ahead, Lotus.
Ernest, do we have a PO app?
No.
Do what? Oh. Well,
Lotus
no.
is there just farming POAPs today, Ernest.
Yeah, well, what I want to do is once I get that, I got that workflow set up pretty easy, but I want to get the agents that I've created. I want to get that knowledge base built. And then now that I kind of got a theme for at least one of the POAPs, I can even try to see if I can get the agent to design me the POAPs in Google Docs, right? In Google Drawings.
Cool.
Because if I could get an agent to create me a whole month's worth of POAPs as a Google Doc drawing, then it'd be real easy for me to set up the POAPs. But I don't want to also use the POAPs too much right now. But mainly I just been focusing on this new app so that I could get those agents going.
Thanks anyway. I know that's a lot of hard work on your part, so appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll see you later.
All right.
Ciao.